I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 117, book sneak peek of The Not Enough Wife. Your life does not have to revolve around your husband's pornography addiction. You are not defined by his choices or by what he sees on a screen. You are not just the porn addict's wife. You are so much more. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to go from handling it to healed, because I've been where you are and you don't have to stay there. My name is Jolene Wynn. I'm a member of the LDS faith, a certified life coach, and a wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. Hello, my ladies. How are you guys doing? I am so excited to be talking to you guys today. Last week I was talking and I gave you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, or a little bit of a teaser, I guess I should say, about my book. And I'm pretty sure I gave you the wrong date of when it's coming out. So let's start with the calendar, shall we? Do you guys remember this? I know I've done this on the podcast before, but when I was growing up, we would have these weekly family nights. And every time we had to start with the calendar, because I am one of 7 kids. And so there were lots of schedules, right? She needs to be taken to dance and he needs to be taken to band. And can you drive this kid here and at this time and all these things? There was a lot of scheduling going on. And so we'd always sit down and do the calendar, and it took forever and it was always hilarious. And we always got way off topic. And so we're sitting down, we're doing the calendar, ladies. Okay. So pull out your calendars. I have some things that I wanted to make y'all aware of. Okay. Number 1. I am super excited to let you guys know that we are continuing our men's group. I'm so excited about this. This is something that I've wanted to do for years. I pitched this idea to my husband years ago about him and I running a men's group together, and him running a men's group while I ran a women's group. And it just took a couple of years to come to fruition. And as you guys know, we started our first men's group in April, and it ran for 4 months. It is ending in a couple of weeks here in August, but we are actually opening it up for more men. And it's going to run very similarly to my own program. It is going to be a lifetime access program, just like mine is now. It is completely separate. So this is something that he's going to run. My husband, Rob, is running. He's doing the coaching. I will be joining on a lot of the coaching calls. We'll do a lot of the coaching calls together, but he's going to be the one that is running it. There's an online course just like this one. They have calls weekly, just like we do. And the cost is also exactly the same. So it's $3,000. There is the upfront. If you pay in full, there is the 10% discount of $2,700. And it again is a lifetime access program. So those men that are in it, they're going to continue. And then this is opening up for more individuals. You guys ready? This is why you need your calendar. Okay. By what is the first week of September? On September 5th. That is the first. So you can join now if your husband is interested. I will have you guys shoot me an email, coach@jolenewynn.com. He can shoot me an email. We will set up a consultation call either with myself or my husband, and they will be able to get into the men's group. But the first men's group call is going to be on September 5th. So if your husband is looking and looking for something to join, and he wants to talk to myself or my husband about it, again, just shoot me an email, coach@jolenewynn.com. This is going to be something that's an open enrollment, just like my program, where you can join at any time. Same thing. Okay. So if he's ready now, he can get on a call. We can sign him up, get him started, and the calls begin on September 5th. He'll immediately get access to all of the online material, all of that content. But you can sign up now, and our first call will be on September 5th. And I'm, again, super excited about this, because this, again, is just something I've always wanted to do with my husband, because I know he has so much that he can help these gentlemen with, and to share how he overcame it himself, which is exactly all the same tools that I'm teaching all of y'all. Okay, so this is not a big secret. But we're so excited. The men that we have worked with over the last couple of months have just made enormous progress. We just had a call. We have calls every single Monday. And last week we were talking to a couple of the guys, and it is amazing to see how far they've come. One of them even was talking, and he said, you know what? I now know, he's like, I know that even if I have the urge to look at it again, that I know exactly what to do. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. And can you imagine getting to that place? Can you imagine your husband getting to that place where he's not worried about having the urge to look at pornography again? You guys, that's what we're going to teach. So if your husband is interested, again, email me, coach@jolenewind.com. We will set up a consultation call, make sure it's the right fit, and we will go from there. Now, before you guys ask, okay, because I have gotten this question before, we are not doing a couples sign up together offer discount. Here is why. This is something that came up last time. I had a couple of clients whose husbands, they were clients and their husbands then joined the men's group, and they said, okay, well, do they get is there kind of a buy two, get one kind of deal, right? Because I'm already a client, or I want to be a client and my husband wants to be a client. So is there something where you can sign up together and get it cheaper? That's a wonderful idea, but we're not going to do that. And here's why, okay? Because I do not want either one of you signing up for the other one. Okay. And when you do that kind of a deal, where it's, okay, if you sign up together or at the same time, then we'll do a discount. Then what happens is one of you, fortuitously, maybe in serendipity land, there is a couple out there that both wants to sign up magically at the same time, okay? But what I can also see happening is one of you waiting and saying, you know what, I'm not ready yet, or rushing it and saying, I'm not ready, but I'm going to go ahead and sign up. You have to make this decision completely independent of the other person, otherwise it's not going to work. And that is why we're not doing a couples thing. That's why we don't run a couples program. I have a women's program and he has a men's program. They are completely separate for a reason, because your healing and your journey has to be a decision that you make, that you're invested in, that you're willing to work through. And that's something that your spouse is not a part of as far as deciding when it is time. And that what I mean by that is it's not up to your spouse as to whether or not you do it, right? Your healing has to be completely independent. You have to make this decision for yourself. Your husband also has to make this decision for himself. You cannot make it for him. Okay, I could go off on this all day, but I'm just going to leave that there. But I'm so excited. Our men's group is going to be opening. You can sign up today. You can join. It is a lifetime access, and join before September, 5th? Is that the first Monday in September? Join before September 5th so that you guys get in on the ground running with the very first call. I'm so excited. So again, email me at coach@jolenewind.com. Okay, second item of the calendar, okay, is my book is launching September 6th. Can you guys please mark that down? I have a huge favor to ask of all of you, and that is to mark this on your calendars, because my book, which is called The Not Enough Wife, is coming out on September 6th, and I'm so excited about it. So what I'm going to do, again, mark this on your calendars, is do a special book launch coach week from the week of September 6th. Okay, so it's going to start Tuesday, September 6th. It's the day after Labor Day. September 6th on a Tuesday. We're going to run it the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably the Friday. So probably September 6th through the 9th, we are going to do book launch coach week. And I'm so excited about this. I would love it. I'm going to get on my email list. If you head to my website, jolenewind.com, you can sign up for my email list so that you guys can get all the details for this. I will let you know ASAP when I have the sign up for it. But for right now, mark your calendar, September 6th through the 9th. I'm going to do Coach Week. Again, that is totally free. It is a week of free coaching, and it's all going to be around the book and all the things we're going to go through, dive into a little bit of the chapters of the book. Each day, we're going to do something different from the book and cover different things. This is going to be something that you can invite your friends to, your girlfriends, people who you think would be interested, and I would love it if you would have them all come. So again, go ahead to my website, jolenewind.com, sign up for my emails so that you guys know when this is happening and all of the details, and mark your calendars, reserve the date so that you guys can be ready, okay? September 6th is going to be a great day. And today I have a very special treat for you, because I am going to give you guys a sneak peek of my book. I'm going to read you the introduction of my book, and I'm really excited about this. I am honored to be able to have a whole group of women, thousands of women who listen to this podcast, who are ready and willing to listen to the first chapter of my book. This book has been quite a journey. It started a couple of years ago when I really came out with when I really solidified the idea of what I wanted to write about. And I originally called it to the girl I used to be. That was what it used to be called. And it just didn't feel exactly right. And when I sat down with my publisher after it was all written, we sat down and I sat down with this woman. This was awesome. Her job is to help you come up with your book title. Such a cool job. And we basically had a coaching session. I'm not sure if she realized what that was, but that's what it was for me. She sat down and she said, what do you want this woman to feel when she looks at your book? What do you want her to feel when she reads the title? What do you want her to feel when she reads this book? And it was so powerful for me. And what we really came down to and what I came up with was that I wanted her to feel seen, and that what she was really struggling with was feeling like she's not enough. This book is for women who feel like they're not enough. Not good enough as a mom, not stay-at-home mom enough, not skinny enough, not smart enough, not work from home mom enough, not homeschool mom enough, not public school mom enough, not female enough, not curvy enough, not skinny enough, right? Not toned enough. Whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking, you're not enough, this book is for you. And I'm going to teach you in this book why we look outside of ourselves to try and fix that, why it's not working, and how to stop it and what the solution is. So, without further ado, ladies, here is the introduction of my book, The Not Enough Wife, Why We Look Outside Ourselves, and How to Stop. Have you ever been told to write a letter to your former self? I'm sure I've participated in this activity at least 3 times in my life. You're in some sort of religious lesson or girls' camp, and the idea is that you write a letter to the girl you were a few years ago. You tell her all your wisdom and all the lessons you've learned. You encourage her to stick it out through the acne and the braces, and you assure her that eventually boys really do figure out what deodorant is. You tell her that she will eventually find a college major that she likes and not to worry because she won't end up pursuing a job in that field anyway. You make sure to mention that the argument that you had with your sister isn't really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things and to just let it go. You remind her of what it truly is important and not to stress the small stuff. Had I been younger when social media blew up, I'm sure this is where I would have mentioned that the strangers I'd followed on Instagram were really the furthest thing from perfection, and that spending countless hours scrolling my feed was the biggest waste of time and brain power. I know I've completed this before, but I also know it had been at least a decade since I've done so. And I paused the other day and I wondered why. When did I stop seeing this as a useful solution to the problems I'm facing? Retrospect is a powerful tool, one that not only puts past problems into perspective, but also allows the brain to consider that perhaps the current issues are not as dire and earth-shattering as they may seem. So I told myself I might as well write a letter to the girl I used to be. And then, if I was going to write down all the lessons I've learned anyway, why not make it so that any girl could read it? Why not publish it for the girl in her teens? Why not make it for the mom next door? Why not share it with my friends on Instagram? Why not write it to the girl who is a decade older than I am? Perhaps there are lessons that I've learned along the course of my life that could help someone else. Perhaps there is something in the words that I will write that can touch the heart of another person. Perhaps God could use me just this once to be part of something greater than myself. I've wanted to write a book since I was in elementary school. I even remember writing some version of a diary series when I was probably 9 years old. You guys think Sweet Valley High and the Babysitters Club and you'll get the idea. As I grew up, my desire to write grew. I wanted to write a book, but not just a book, the book. A New York Times bestseller. One that would land me on the Oprah Winfrey Show. One that would get me on morning talk shows and make me famous. One that everyone would want to read. The older I got, the more detailed this vision became, and I just knew that one day I was going to write a book. The problem was, I had no idea what to write about. I racked my brain for years, trying to come up with something to write about. I even started a book in college, but it just never seemed right. That was until a few years ago when I began looking back through my life and seeing the lessons that I've learned. That's when God told me what to write about. And slow learner that I am, I'm finally listening. This book is a small glimpse of the shifts that I've made mentally and emotionally that have completely changed my life. They are the shifts that have led me closer to God and made me see Him work in my life in a very intimate way. They're the shifts that helped me forgive my husband after he confessed his secret pornography addiction. They're the shifts that helped me finally accept my body and start to love it exactly where it is. They are the shifts that helped me let go of resentment and bitterness in relationships. They are the shifts that have helped me see strangers with compassion. They're the shifts that have helped me see my past self with grace. They're the shifts that have helped me understand myself and others and see everyone as God sees us. They're the shifts that have helped me wake up and start living my life on purpose rather than simply existing in a monotonous pattern of contentment. When my husband and I had been married about 6 years, he came to me one day and told me he'd been secretly addicted to pornography for the entire time. Call me naive, but it was not something I saw coming. There were no signs, no hints, no suggestions that this was happening, and nothing in our relationship that would have pointed to this. It was as if my life had been flowing along freely and then abruptly hit a brick wall too massive for me to remove. When he told me, I remember having two main reactions. The first followed that fight response instinct. Immediately, I thought, okay, we can totally handle this. And I began thinking of the next steps that we could take to combat it. I wanted him to go to meetings and therapy and counseling, anything he was willing to do. And I was willing to shell out any amount of money to make that happen. None of that actually happened for years because he followed his admission to me with the caveat of, I'm handling this, I don't need help, and I don't want to talk about it. All my carefully constructed plans to fight this thing head on flew out the window, and my fight response was left feeling utterly defeated. But that's a longer story for another book. My second reaction was much more subtle, and it took me a number of years to even become truly aware of it. It was an internal retreat that followed the flight response instinct. I began to question everything about myself and our relationship, guided by the belief that there must be something wrong with me. Yes, I understood that his addiction to pornography was his problem, but he didn't even begin watching porn until after we were married. What did that say about me as a wife, as a sexual partner? What was wrong with me that would lead him to seek that out instead? What was I lacking that he sought out from other sources? Why wasn't I enough? That question pounded within my subconscious for years, buried deep. It was not a question I was comfortable with or even taught to believe. As a Christian who grew up in a strong, faithful household and church community, I was taught that I had worth. I recited scripture about my divine creation throughout my teenage years, and intellectually, I understood that concept. But until this point in my life, I never realized that I hadn't truly internalized it. I hadn't cemented that fully into my core. And because of that, I now found myself kind of floundering under the belief that I wasn't enough. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't sexy enough. I wasn't a good enough wife. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't enough to keep my husband from watching porn. I wasn't enough of a reason to make him stop. I simply wasn't enough. I was the not enough wife. At least I was for a time, but I didn't stay there for long. Thanks to God's intervention and his grace in leading me along when I'm too lost to find my own way, I was led to discovering mindset and life coaching through podcasts. And I couldn't get enough. Here were the answers to all the questions I hadn't even known that I had. Here were the tools that I had never been given that were enabling me to put my emotional baggage to rest and move forward. The more I healed, the more I let go, the more I began to move forward, and the more I felt compelled to share my journey with other women. I began to talk about my experience, and I became certified as a life coach to help other women who are struggling through similar situations. I became the life coach for the porn addict's wife. I started a podcast and I launched my coaching business, and the more I began to coach, the more women I talked to, the more I realized something. Most women, at one point or another, believe that we're not enough, not good enough, not smart enough, not accomplished or generous enough, not stay-at-home mom enough, or not work-from-home mom enough, not Instagram ready enough, or not do-it-yourself enough. When I realized that, I once again felt compelled to share my journey with other women. Not just women in my same circumstances, but all women. Every woman who has felt that feeling of not being enough. I wanted to share what I'd learned with her, with you, and teach you to break up with that lie so that you can stop trying to prove to yourself or anyone else that you are worthy. To teach you that you are 100% worthy simply by the fact that you exist because God made you. You are not just the not enough wife. You are so much more. It was finally easy to decide what I wanted to write about. In this book, I'm going to teach you why so many of us believe this about ourselves, why it's so important to change, and how to start changing it right away. The things I offer you in this book are easy to digest. Applying them is what takes greater effort. Take what works for you and leave what doesn't. If you're willing to keep an open mind, I think this book could challenge your thoughts and hopefully create some of those shifts that I experienced along the way. Women spend so much time fearing that they aren't enough, that they aren't doing enough, that they aren't strong enough, sexy enough, smart enough, good enough at their jobs or as a mom. That belief causes so much pain and frustration. But I know how to help change that. What I teach you in this book will help you completely change the way you see yourself and help you show up in your life with more confidence and self-assurance than you ever thought possible. Bold promise, I know, but it's totally true. I no longer have the same vision for this book that I did so many years ago. I don't care if it's a bestseller, and I don't think Oprah even does talk shows anymore. Oprah, if you're reading this and you want me on your show, I'm totally in, okay? I no longer need the masses to approve. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they won't. I no longer need fame and glory. My vision for this book has shifted so that it's no longer about me. Perhaps that's why it took me so long to finally write this. I needed to get my priorities in line because this book isn't for me. It's for you. My story is not unique, and that's the power in it. It's not just my story, it's yours. All the pieces of our lives are beautifully woven together in an intricate web that connects us. So here are the pieces of my life, all laid out for you to pick apart and observe. If you learn a little something from it, don't thank me. Thank God. He's the one who made it all possible. All right, my ladies, that was it. That was the introduction of my book. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, I would love it if you would share this podcast as a little sneak peek with your friends and family, all your girlfriends, your Bible study, your sisters-in-law, your mom, all your best friends. Post it on Facebook, whatever it is. Share this and let everyone know that my book, The Not Enough Wife, is coming out on September 6th on Amazon. That is when you guys will be able to buy it, to purchase it. You'll be able to get the ebook version so you can start reading it right away. And I'm so excited about all of it. And again, don't forget to share that I will be hosting a book launch coach week that is totally free. That will be September 6th through September 9th. And you guys will be able to get all the details if you sign up for my email at jolenewind.com. Just go join my email list. You guys will be able to get all of the details for all of the things. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of the book, and I can't wait for you guys to read it. I'll see you guys next week on a brand new episode. So take care. All right, ladies, if you are loving what you are learning on the podcast, I want to invite you to come join my coaching program. This is where we take it to the next level, and we actually start applying and learning the how of moving forward. This podcast has taught you the what, and the coaching program is where you're going to learn the how. This is where you learn how to actually start moving forward, process all of that pain that you feel, and let it go once and for all. If you are ready to finally move forward and stop living a life that revolves around your husband's pornography addiction, then I want to invite you to come join me today. Just head to my website, jolenewind.com, and sign up today. I can't wait to see you there.